Tefl-Dude. He is the Tefl-Dude.
Hi, Tefl-Dude here. Whether you have a new PC or an old PC, here are 5 areas we're going to look at to make your PC work more efficiently. Now, along with this video, I have included a PDF document outlining all the steps taken in this video. Please download it from the link below, and this will give you a rough idea of what will be involved. Now, before we even begin, there are 5 things you need to do right now. I chose these 5 things because more often than not, when I am given a person's PC to fix or install some programs on it, there are 5 things that I look at and notice immediately that need attention. Quite often their PC is running quite slow, and the first thing they need to do is stop unnecessary programs starting when they turn on the PC. Here you can see in the document, you simply right click on the taskbar and open the task manager. Now I'll show you how I do that on the desktop here. You simply right click here, open the task manager, and then here you have to click more details. Then make sure you jump to starting tab, and you can see here are all the programs that I disabled. So if I wanted to re-enable it, I could right click and say enable, and it will be enabled. But I actually want to disable this program. And that is part 1 that will help speed up your computer dramatically. Now, the second thing you need to do, and it's of major importance, delete any antiviruses you installed. You don't need them. They're a waste of time. They take your energy from your computer. They sell your data to other people. They are defunct. Why? Because if you look here, Windows has its own antivirus protection. So use that, get rid of it. I know this to be true because 5 years ago when I installed Windows 10, my internet was really slow, and I asked the technician in the shop and he said, you need to delete that AVG antivirus I had on it. And sure enough, I got rid of it. My internet speed was super fast. Well, 5 times faster than it was. So they will hog your resources, make your computer slow, get rid of them. Now, the third thing missing on the PC is the desktop icon, particularly this PC. I'll show you how to install this in part 2 of this program. One of the important things it does for you is by right-clicking it and clicking on Properties, you can see the version of your Windows, how many gigabytes of RAM you have, your memory, etc., etc. Now, the 4th and 5th thing that are missing are usually 2 programs. The first is a PDF reader, which if you haven't installed a PDF reader, then you don't have one. If you've installed Acrobat or PDF Exchange or even Foxit Reader, then obviously you have one. If you haven't, you will be opening documents in a Windows browser like Chrome, and you don't really want to do this because you can't really edit it as efficiently. I will be looking at this program Ninite, where you can download all of these programs safely and free, including LibreOffice. And the 5th file is the zip file. Often Windows has a way to open zip files, but it doesn't have a way to open a RAR file. Again, going to Ninite, you can download for free 7-zip and WinRAR. Why do you need it? Because often people might send you a large number of documents or films that are too large to go in an email, and they might put it in a Dropbox. And once you get it, you need to unzip it or unrar it. And a lot of files I've sent to people, they couldn't open because they didn't know how to unzip it. A zip or a RAR file is simply a box, like an Amazon box that somebody's put stuff in and sent to you. You need to unbox it. This is how you do it. So without further ado, let's go to part 1 of our 5 areas to check. And we're going to do the taskbar. In this section, we're going to be talking about the taskbar. Now, one of the first things I notice, whether I've been given a PC to repair or I've had a new installation, is that there are some needless icons on the bottom. So what I do is I right click and unpin. That one was the email. This one is the store. This next one is the web browser, which I do leave there, but normally it would be Firefox or Chrome. So I'll leave it there for now. But I do move this box because I will find it somewhere else. As you can see, it has a history of what you've been looking at. So I unpin that. Also, there is the Cortana, which I never use. And in order to eliminate this, you have to right click and go to the top and untick the Show Cortana button. Also, you have this large area in which to type for searching for things. And it doesn't need to be this big. What you can do to save space is right click and go to search and then go to show search icon. And now it's still there. When you click inside it, you can still search for things, but it doesn't take up all that real estate. Now, like I said, in order to remove this task view button, if you don't wish to make new desktops or you don't want this information about where you've been on the internet and things, you can simply right click and just say untick the task view button. Also, here I've got this pen tool, which I don't need here either, so I can click that away. And then you've got more real estate for other things. One more thing to do on the taskbar is I don't like all these folders bunching up into one. So what I do is I right click, go to the taskbar settings, and instead of always hide labels, I say when the taskbar is full. And that means you can see now they've spread out, so I can actually click on different ones to know where they are. Now in the second part, the most annoying thing when I go on a person's computer, I pretty much guarantee that I can't find the My PC icon or the This PC icon. And you need that to look at stuff. So a way to get that open is right click anywhere in the frame, click Personalize, and go to Themes. And here you can see on the right hand side Desktop Icons Settings. If your screen is a bit smaller, you might have to scroll down and they'll be at the bottom here. So all you simply do is click on it and tick My Computer, User Files and Control Panel. You don't really need the network, but the others are very useful when we're trying to fix the PC for some reason or other. And there you can see our icons on the left hand side neatly displayed. However, I prefer them in a different order. To do this, simply right click and sort by item type. And My PC is at the top, which is excellent. One important reason why I like to see this PC icon is that just by right clicking it and going to Properties, you can see information about the computer that you might need to know, that it has 8 GB of memory, that it's an i7 CPU, that it's 64-bit operating, and that it's activated. Also that it's a Windows 10 Pro version. All these things help the person who's trying to fix it. So it's very important to have this icon there for ease of use. While we're still in this section, let's go to do a few other things. for instance, the colors, what I like to do is add a different color to the title bar. What I mean by this is, let's click on this, and you notice there's no, shake that again, it comes back. You'll notice that here there's no color on the bar, but if I was to click this and then go back, you'll see there is a blue colored bar. But what's nice is you can actually change the color to be more vibrant. So I'd like a nice purple or orchid light. And now it stands out a bit more. And also I think when I click on the start bar, these icons are also this color, which is nice. So whenever it's active, it will be lit. Obviously, if you click away, it's not active and therefore the color isn't there. The next thing on this list here is to go to the start icons. Now, these are here at the start menu. When you click on it, you can see we have settings, pictures, documents, and me. So what we want to do is add more here. We want to add video and other ones. And to do this, what we do is we click on choose which folders appear on the start. And I always click downloads, music, videos, and personal folder. And then if we click here on the start, you can see all of those icons are there: documents, download, music, etc., etc. Then lastly, there's the taskbar, which I told you about before, where we changed this icon. Also, you can click on this peek to preview, but I wouldn't use this because all it is when you hover your mouse here, you can see the desktop. But I prefer to leave that off and just click on it, and then you can see the desktop. Click in the corner again, and the folders come back. So if I open a few folders, open this in a new window, we've got 3 or 4 folders here. I simply click in the corner and they all disappear. I click in the corner again and they come back. So that's handy to know about. In this third part, I'd just like to focus on the title bar of the folders and to add quick access tools that enable us to edit or view different information of the various items within each folder. Here they all are, here there's different views and things, but within these sections there's only really a few that we need to use. And instead of having them visible all the time, we can simply put them on this top bar here. And the way we do that is, first we make it open like this. And the particular ones that I choose that make things easier to use are the navigation pane, which is here. I rarely use it, so what I do is I right click and add that to the quick menu, and you can see it's here. So if I click off, it comes back. Also the preview pane, I'll add that to the taskbar, and the layout as well, because here you can have different ways of looking at your icons, and add that to the taskbar. Next, I want to add this file name extension, because you'll notice here I've got a bunch of items, but I'm not sure what they are. This one might be a PDF, this one might be a document, I'm not sure. The best way to find out is if we can add this extension. So I'll right click and add that, and also I'll right click and add hidden items, in case sometimes you need to go into the back end and open a hidden folder, or you have a folder you made hidden to hide some information from people in your household. As you can see, the file name extension has allowed me to see that this is a doc, so that's a Word document, this is a PDF, this is an Excel file, a RAW file, this is a music, MP3, this is a film, MP4, and this is a zip file. And we're going to be looking at these in more depth once we install some of the vital software that many of you don't have, even though you've had your PC for a long time. So once we've done all of this, I've got my items at the top. I'll add one more, which is the delete. I'll add that to the quick taskbar. Now I can click the arrow up and you can see I have more area and freedom. However, I do like to move this around and this stuff is in the way. So what you do is you click here and show below ribbon. And now I can move the top purple bar, and if I want to hide the navigation, I can do it quickly. If I want to hide the file name extensions or show them, I can show hidden items if there are any, and I can change the way I see these icons by clicking details if I need something like that. So this is a very fast way to help you maneuver around your document area. In this fourth part, we need to install a number of items, and even if you've had a PC for a while, you still might not have many of these items which are freeware and help you to play music and videos, etc. in a better way, and even edit them. So where we go for this, for instance, this is a new PC and I don't have Chrome or Firefox or VLC player or 7-zip. So what I need to do is click on the Edge browser and type in Ninite. There it is. And simply go to this website. If you've never been here before, go here to get proper versions and safe versions of very, very useful software. So what happens is you tick all the ones you want and then you just save it, and it's one file and it installs it all for you while you go away and have a cup of tea. So the things we normally tick, or the things I normally tick, are the Chrome browser. With imaging, GIMP is very like Photoshop, so I would download this if I were you, but I actually use Photoshop. But I do like Paint.net, and I have a video on how you can make your signature like a clear signature using Paint.net. Also in utilities, you can download TeamViewer, which I use, and it enables me to go on a friend's PC, even in another country, and I can fix any problems he's got by being on his computer. Next, you can see Zoom if you use it, but here is the Skype desktop version, and this is what you need, because with Windows, they do give you a Skype version, but it's an app, and they've stopped updating that, so I would get rid of that, and we'll do that later. Also, for documents, if you don't have a PDF reader, get Foxit, and if you don't have an Office program, use LibreOffice. It's much better than OpenOffice. Now, regarding media, VLC player is the best player around. You can also edit videos with it. And I would click Audacity, which enables you to crop MP3 files in case you need to do that. Finally, in this section, click on Handbrake. It's a free software tool that in later video I will show you how to crush a 500 megabyte video taken with your phone and crush it to 20 megabytes. So that's 400 megabytes to 20 megabytes. It's an amazing piece of software. Obviously, as I mentioned before, in order to unzip files, you need a WinZip program, and WinRAR and this 7-zip are free. There might be some ads with WinRAR, but 7-zip is definitely free. You'd be surprised how many people don't even have either of these programs, and when I send them a zip file they can't open it because they seriously don't know how to use it, or they don't even have it. What I do advise you not to do is download any of these spyware or antivirus programs. So you have your own green light Windows protection here. So once you've clicked all the boxes you want to click, simply click here, get your 9ite. Here you can see mine downloading here. And when it's finished, I'm going to open the file. So now it's going to set up everything I need on my computer without me needing to be around and go to each website and get each one. It's a brilliant program. So I'm going to pause this now, go and have a cup of tea, let this install all of those softwares. Now, as you can see, all of these items have been installed and it only took about 10 or 15 minutes. However, all the icons have been placed on the desktop, making it look quite messy. This is why we need to use the start button, and actually we can stretch this out and we can put our items here. This also is the part where I show you how to uninstall certain unnecessary programs and make these programs our default programs. For instance, let's just close this off. In my documents folder, I had this PDF, which would normally have opened up in Microsoft Edge, but now it can be opened up with this Foxit Reader, which is a free reader. What we're going to do is we're going to hook these items onto the start menu, but in order to do that we need to get rid of some also, like Office. I don't want to buy this Office and pay monthly, so we can uninstall it. And as for the Microsoft Edge, it can stay there, but remember I told you about this Skype app, which is no good. So uninstall that, and we're going to add this one. So these ones we can right click and pin to start. So there it is on the start. Notice these arrows, just right click and delete them. Unpin all of these items. This one you may want to keep for your mail, I don't know, it's up to you. I'll leave that here, make it a bit wider normally. And photos I don't use, I'll just unpin. The rest can stay, even though we don't really use this much. So we've got Skype. This is what I'm recording with at the moment, iScreen screen recorder. So let's add in the other icons so we can delete them from here. So you saw me do one, I'll quickly do one more and then I'll pause so that you don't have to watch me adding them all on to the start menu. So pin to start. Okay, that's most of them. Now WinRAR doesn't really need to be pinned to the start because that's something which you open up a program with. If I go to my documents again, you can see this is a RAR file. However, this is a zip file. What I can always do is just go to the 7-zip and then extract here, and then it will extract the folder here. In fact, I can just do that now, and you'll see that this folder gets extracted. This is just full of documents, and I sent the zip file to somebody. So there you can see all the documents. So let's get rid of our icons. So all of these can go in the bin. And we can delete them. You'll notice that they are now here, and you can arrange them in different settings. For instance, media you can put in one section, internet you can put in another, anything to do with the internet, and this is to do with your productivity, so you can leave it here, leave that stuff together, and you can rename them as well. So here I could name it internet, and so on. Now these, Firefox and Google Chrome, I prefer to pin to the taskbar. So I'll just do that quickly, and then I'll put all 3 of them in the bin. And I also wish to close that window and get rid of that from the taskbar. Empty the bin. The only ones I like to have on the taskbar are Chrome and Firefox. And a very important thing for you to do as well, in case you watch YouTube videos and you want to avoid all the unnecessary ads. Sometimes it's impossible, but if you want to, the best way is to simply add ad blocker. And I'm going to show you the best one to add, and that is this one. If you go to add-ons, it needs to be all lowercase. I think it's AdBlock Plus. So that's the one I usually use. This one, all small case for AdBlock. Well, apart from the initial letter. And you can see it's got 9 million users, so it's really good. You simply click on it, add to Firefox, and that will enable you to not have to watch stupid ads and pop-ups that come on your screen from time to time. And there it is, protecting you. So now if you were to watch YouTube, you wouldn't get any stupid ads. So let's go back to the start area, and it's looking quite good. We've got all the things we want. The only thing we need to do now is make certain things the default. So if I was to go to my documents again, and here I've got this PDF reader as the one I want to use. I'm happy with that, that's okay. But what I'm not happy with is the MP3 player and the film player. So this film player opens up in Movie Watch. I would prefer it to open up in VLC player. So I'll click that and say always use this app. And so now you can see the icon has changed.
I wonder how many people are in. I can't see them.
And it's a much better app. The same goes for MP3. However, we still have to add some icons onto the start menu, and one of them is the media player. This is the Groove player, and I absolutely hate it. I prefer this player. And I'll click OK. And the first time you open it, if you haven't used it before, you have to click
Małgorzata Dyszlewska.
But what you also need to do is click this small icon here to switch to the library view, and right click view and go to show menu bar, and here you get tools, and I can just check if when I rip music is it MP3, and it is, and that's okay, so I'll leave it at that. So there's my media player. Now if I click it,
Małgorzata Dyszlewska,
it's in this player. Although, to be honest, sometimes I even use this player
I wonder how many people are there.
because, you know, you can make it a lot smaller than the other player, and it's very useful for when you're a teacher and you're playing this
Małgorzata Dyszlewska, Małgorzata Samsonova,
in school. So you can make it narrow like this, put it in the top corner and have the PDF on show. So it's very useful for that. I think that's everything now. As you can see, you've got the RAW files available, the PNG, which is just a picture you can open with Paint or Photos. Photos is the best, as you have some editing tools here. However, sometimes this MP3 player does default back to that groove music, and you can actually now, with the new version, uninstall these players, because you don't need two players, one's enough. Here's groove music, and I can actually uninstall it, which is great because I absolutely hate it, as I do with their movie player. So I'm going to uninstall that. Now we're going to add one or two more icons here that are important, and they are Notepad. And please note, when you open Notepad, that you need to click on word wrap, because if you don't, what happens if you get a long line of words like this, or letters, you see it just goes in one line, whereas if you do word wrap, it's all in the box. That's what you need to do with OneNote, or Notepad rather. The next one, we'll put that over here in productivity. The next one you need to add is, of course, your Windows Media Player. Another thing that's useful to use is this snip and sketch. So we right click, pin to the start, because with this you can actually copy areas of your desktop and make them into a picture, and then you can draw on them and do other things. So it's a really useful tool to have. One more thing I like to add to the start bar is the My PC. So I usually right click, add that to the start bar, as I do some other folders, and that way you can have like a folder section. So when you're in a window, let's see you're here and you want to quickly find something on your PC, you go here, click this PC, and then you can jump into your pictures or jump into your music or something. So that's another thing you can do with the start menu. Now in this final part, we're just going to quickly look at the notifications area. That's this icon in the corner. And you'll notice you have a nice arrow. This is the newest version of Windows that I'm using from 2020 in May. And it says about you sometimes get notifications when you're actually doing a presentation or something, which can be annoying. So what you do is, first of all, it's actually night time now. I'd like night light on. And if you go into this setting, if you actually click here, you'll notice everything goes a bit more pink. The blue disappears. And if you go to the settings, you can organize it by clicking on night light settings and scheduling it. So here it's set to go on at 8 o'clock at night, and at 5 in the morning it will go bright again. Okay, now that I've got night light on, I can use Focus Assist in order to not be disturbed when I'm working. But to be honest, I much prefer if I just turn all the notifications off. So I go to notifications and just say, you know, don't send me anything. Don't show me any of these things either. All these are turned off, so I'll no longer have pop-ups jumping out of the side of the screen. So I hope you've enjoyed the introduction and you've learned something, and now you have your PC working to its fullest and you're able to unzip files and use PDFs in the right way. See you on the next video.